Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was the centre of a dramatic deadline day saga, which ended with him joining Barcelona on a free transfer from Arsenal.
It was a deal that at one stage appeared doomed, with Aubameyang set to have wasted a flight to Spain. But the deal was salvaged, which suited all three parties in the deal. So this was Aubameyang arriving in Barcelona earlier, before a deal had been agreed. At 6 p.m, the deal looked dead, with financial differences unable to be sorted, before a deal for the striker to leave on a free transfer was struck, with Barca president Joan Laporta hinting it was back on.
It is very complicated, but we will work until the end. Both the Dembele and Aubameyang situations are complicated because, in the Aubameyang case, the player has to arrange an agreement with Arsenal. We are working to find the best solution for Barcelona and the player in the Dembele case.
This was on, this was off, and it was back on again. Look, earlier we knew Barcelona and Arsenal were in advanced negotiations over a loan deal for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We heard that he was willing to take a pay cut to make sure that this deal went through. The talks were all about the percentage of the wages that Barcelona would pay Arsenal. We know Aubameyang's wages, close to £350,000 a week. Then came the twist. Aubameyang arrives in Barcelona with no deal done. Raised eyebrows everywhere, and some people on social media were starting to compare it to something that had happened 9 years ago to the day when Peter Odemwingie drove from West Bromwich Albion to QPR, came outside Loftus Road when there was no deal done at all. Then it looked like the deal was off. It looked like talks had broken down, even though Aubameyang had taken that pay cut. It wasn't enough to bridge the gap between what Arsenal wanted paying and what Barcelona were prepared to pay. Then, Joan Laporta, you just heard from him there. After that little bit of that interview, he did carry on to say, we're still hopeful. And then he went on to say, we think we can do it. And then before we know it, the deal is done. And it's a permanent deal. It's not a loan deal. It's a permanent deal. It's a free transfer, so there's no fee involved. But everyone is happy. You may ask, how can Arsenal be happy if it's a free transfer? Well, 18 months left on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's contract, £350,000 a week. They don't have to worry about that anymore. That's a saving of £25 million. So it looks like Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has ended his career at the Emirates. It's a good deal for all parties. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang gets to stay at a top European club, which he wanted to do. He's taken a pay cut. Arsenal don't have to be saddled with that £350,000 a week wage, so they've made a saving of around £25 million on his wages. Joined 4 years ago to the day, didn't he, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? His Arsenal career is now over. A new chapter begins. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is a Barcelona player.
Yeah, so Aubameyang's departure comes 4 years to the day the player joined the club from Borussia Dortmund. Now, Arsenal will make a significant saving on wages on their former captain, who hadn't played since a disciplinary breach in December.
Arteta's put a stance down from the moment they sort of fell out, and I think if he goes back in that, he shows weakness to the rest of the squad. So I think he said, I've made my stance, he's not going to play for me again, and we have to get him out. We have to get the best deal for Arsenal. And obviously, he's on a huge contract, so they're trying to reduce the wage bill. But I just felt that maybe they could have used it to bring someone else in.
Arsenal need a centre-forward. They've only got Nketiah and Lacazette. They're out of contract at the end of the season, so they definitely needed to bring a striker in. They haven't brought a striker in. They've lost Aubameyang. I thought, was there a way back? I don't think there was a way back to Arsenal, because Arteta had to stay strong. He was strong before. If he then said there's a way to come back, then he'd look like a weak manager. So he's made that decision.
It's a victory for Arteta.
It is a victory. I think he wanted him out the door. He wasn't playing him, and I don't think there was no way back for Aubameyang. It's a great move for Aubameyang. He will score goals at Barcelona.
Well, during his time at Arsenal, only Mohamed Salah, Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane scored more Premier League goals than Aubameyang's 68. And he holds the record for the fastest Arsenal player to score 50 Premier League goals, ahead of club legends Thierry Henry and Ian Wright. Aubameyang is the 9th Arsenal player to leave the club for Barcelona since Marc Overmars and Emmanuel Petit moved in 2000.